We begin tonight with new details on how a Monroe County teen killed her mother and autistic brother while they slept. It happened 2 years ago.
Today, Candace Walton pleaded guilty to all counts. Kalisha Moore was in the courtroom as she faced sentencing and tells us what happened.
Candace Walton stood in front of a judge on Wednesday morning where she pled guilty to several counts. And in that courtroom was complete silence, but an overwhelming amount of emotion when details of what happened to her brother and her mother came to the light.
We can't bring Tasha and Gerald back, but we can stand up and pray that Candace and her boyfriend are charged with these crimes.
That's what Crystal Vandiver told her niece, Candace Walton, before she was sentenced for arson and murder. The victims were Candace's mother and brother.
Around 2:56 a.m. on February 27th, the defendant messaged the boyfriend, Kaleo, saying, "I've done it." She asks for directions to Oregon and then says, "I set it to fire."
Prosecutors say Candace and her boyfriend, Kaleo Pangelinan, exchanged more than 80,000 text messages, planning the murder.
They discussed how the defendant had been putting a mix of medications in her mother and brother's drinks, and it was making them throw up, but it wasn't killing them. They discussed different options and how she could kill them. At one point, the defendant says poison, knife, gun, or suffocate.
But Walton's lawyer told the judge that she was just a child.
She's just barely 16, a child. And as she stands here today, she's barely 18, still a child.
And he said the case was more complicated than it looked.
There were issues in that house, there were some things going on, some physical abuse by some people that were coming in and out of that house that she dealt with.
Then Walton herself spoke to the judge.
If there was a way to go back and change what I did, I would.
She said she thinks about her mom and brother constantly and asked her family for forgiveness. But her aunt said they want to cut all ties.
I don't want nothing to do with her.
Both Jade Gordy and Crystal Vandiver say it's painful and no sentence can bring their loved ones back.
Not really happy with the outcome due to the fact she killed a special need nephew and my sister. And we could never give them back.
Walton was granted life with the possibility of parole, even though the state did ask that she would get 2 life sentences, saying that when she could make parole, she would be 48, an age her mother nor her brother would ever reach. In Monroe County, Kalisha Moore, 13 WMAZ News.
Walton's boyfriend faces trial later this year. The Vandiver family say they hope he receives the same sentence.